Hey there, Grace Church. This is Caleb Schlegel here with you. I'm parked here in front of the church. Just got done with work here on Wednesday afternoon, and driving by the church, and I thought, man, I miss this place. I miss these people, and so just wanted to come here and get together with you guys. We were super excited about the drive-in service on Sunday there on Mother's Day. Thankful for Pastor Mark and Philip and the whole worship team and the people who've been working behind the scenes to get this ministry out, to keep this going. And so thank you guys for all your hard work, and we just thank God for you and bless you for all that. This week we're making a little bit of a transition in our videos that we're putting out. The last few weeks we've been doing the How to Be a Good Neighbor series, which has been just great, a huge blessing to me and the other people who have been following it. And so encourage you guys to go back and catch those if you missed any. And then this last week, as I was talking with Mark and Philip and some of the other guys, we were talking about where we want to go with this video series in this next part, in this next season of it. And so we're going to be looking at the one another's that Jesus gave his disciples throughout his ministry. There are over 40 times where Jesus gives a one another to his followers, and they're incredible. It's a great study. It's a great opportunity to see the heart of Christ, the heart that he has for his people, and who we're supposed to be. And so as we think about who we want to be, how we want to handle especially this time with this pandemic, with this virus, with this environment that we're in, it's a challenging time. And so I don't think there's a better time for this study specifically. One of the things we're going to talk about is the key passage in the one another's, and that's where Jesus is talking to his disciples in the upper room in John chapter 13, just before he gets ready to be arrested, go to the cross, and go through all of that. And so, but before we look at that, I just want to share with you our heart as elders in this church, for you guys, for the people here at Grace, for the community of the Gorge, is that we long to be together with you. We miss you. We're walking a difficult road. This is not something that a lot of people have done before. And so a lot of it's new. One of the things I really want to preface this with is just by saying, we've got a lot of different ideas. We've got a lot of different plans, a lot of different people who have input and information. And so our goal as elders, as a church, is that we would see the church here grow in strength, in unity, in number, and in love for one another. And so, as I mentioned before, John chapter 13, Jesus is sitting with his disciples. He is going through the upper room discourse. He's talking to them about what's going to happen, about who he is. And then as the meal is progressing, he makes the announcement that one of the disciples is going to betray him. And we're familiar with it. We know the disciples are distraught. They're asking, who's it going to be? Is it me? And then Jesus has a quiet conversation with Judas, and Judas gets up and leaves. And after Judas leaves, it's like Jesus takes the opportunity to have a private conversation with his other 11 disciples, and it's revolutionary. It really is. And when you look at it, when you read John chapter 13, you'll see it, that he, mid-sentence, as they're talking about other things, he stops and he looks at his disciples and he says, "A new commandment I give you, that you love one another. Even as I have loved you, you love one another, and by this all men will know that you're my disciples." And so it's incredible. It's a powerful passage. Jesus is summing up the goal of believers in relationship to one another, is that we would love one another as Christ has loved us. And so as I was looking at this passage this week and reading through the whole Upper Room Discourse and in these different chapters in John, I just thought, okay, how would Jesus handle this time that we're in right now? How would Jesus answer the questions we have about, let's talk real. Let's talk, this is what we're dealing with today right now. Okay, wearing a mask or not wearing a mask, going into the store or not going into the store, going to work or not going to work, going to the doctor or not going to the doctor. All of these things are questions and things that we're struggling with right now. These are real challenges that each one of us is facing and has to deal with. And so what I want to encourage each one of you in is that these words that Jesus gave, "A new command I give you, love one another as I've loved you." Jesus was not instructing us to correct each other every opportunity that we have. We are told if we see a brother sinning to go to him, to help him, to encourage him, to lift him up, to bear one another's burdens. Okay, that's one of the many, many passages that talk about these one another's. And one of the things we're going to see is that as we engage in this opportunity that we have right now in history, right? It's May 12th or 13th of 2020, is our kids, our grandkids, our friends, our family members are going to look back and go, okay, well, how did we handle this? Did we come together? Did we call each other? Did we ask questions? Did we listen? Or did we send messages? Did we make posts? Did we talk about people behind their backs? And so I really want to just encourage you and ask you to think so carefully about how we handle this time right now. As we come together for drive-in services, as we see each other on the highways and the byways, and as we go through life together, not knowing what the governor is going to say, not knowing what the president is going to say, not knowing what our county and state and city officials are going to say, that our rock would be Christ and the gospel. That we would together turn to God, turn to each other, and say, what do we need? I love you. How can I help you? What's the struggle for you right now, right? Each one of us is tired of being stuck at home, is tired of being quarantined, and the cabin fever is driving us crazy. And yet I've been so blessed by people that normally I wouldn't have conversations with call me and say, how you doing? And how are your kids doing? And so I just want to encourage you, church, to love one another, to reach out to unbelievers, to reach out to your neighbors. I got here tonight to record this video and thought I could do a quick video and head home. And then a neighbor of mine pulled up in the parking lot who I haven't met. Saw my truck, recognized it, thought I was Philip, and we ended up talking for half an hour about life and where we are. And I got to share that our hope is only in God, and God is the reason we can say this is going to be okay. We're going to get through it together. And so, Grace Church, I love you. We love you. Our family loves you. Our elders love you. We miss you. We thank God for you and your prayers, and we look forward to walking through this together. We're a couple months into this now, and so we just trust the Lord. We press on, and as Mark says, we never give up. All right, God bless you guys.